They say the desert has no mercy, but that's not true. It simply tells the truth in its own silent way. Imagine walking beneath a sky that never ends. A vast, unbroken canvas of cerulean blue, where the sun burns like a watchful god, its gaze both punishing and purifying. Every grain of sand, a miniature hourglass, carries the memory of time itself, a chronicle of epics compressed into a single, shimmering particle. You are an insignificant speck in this immense landscape, a transient figure moving through a realm of permanence. The silence here is not an absence of sound but a presence, a heavy, palpable entity that presses in on you, muffling the frantic chatter of the world you left behind. It is a silence that demands to be heard, that speaks in a language older than words, a language of wind, stone, and starlight. This is not a place of emptiness, but of profound, overwhelming substance. Your journey begins as a simple act of forward motion, one foot in front of the other. Each step sinks into the golden sea, a soft, yielding embrace that offers no firm ground, no guarantee of progress. The horizon, a wavering line of heat and light, never seems to get closer, a tantalizing and cruel illusion that tests the very limits of your resolve. And yet, you keep moving, propelled not by a map or a destination, but by something far more elemental. You are guided only by instinct, a primal compass buried deep within your soul that awakens in this raw and untamed wilderness. You move by faith, not in a deity or a doctrine, but in the simple, unwavering belief that each step, however faltering, holds a purpose. You are driven by something you can't explain, a silent, internal summons, a deep-seated yearning to merge with this landscape, to understand the truth it holds within its heart. The wind, the desert's most faithful messenger, begins to speak. It whispers like an ancient spirit, its voice a sibilant rustling sound as it glides over the crests of the dunes and through the skeletal branches of long-dead trees. This is no gentle breeze. It is a current of power, carrying tales of forgotten civilizations and the bleached bones of creatures who succumbed to this land's harsh beauty. It promises both danger and discovery in the same breath. In its mournful cry, you hear a warning of the perils that lie ahead: the sudden, blinding sandstorms, the crushing heat, the disorienting mirages that dance on the edge of your vision. But in its softer sighs, you hear a promise of revelation, a hint of hidden away, of secrets etched into the rock faces by hands that have long since turned to dust. The wind sculpts the landscape, and as it scours the sand from the dunes, you feel it beginning to sculpt you as well, carving away the unnecessary, the superficial, the parts of you that cannot withstand its relentless honesty. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, a profound transformation begins to take hold. You start to realize that the desert doesn't want to destroy you. It wants to reveal you. This unforgiving environment is not a malevolent force bent on your demise, but a crucible designed for it strips away the noise, the incessant, distracting hum of modern life, the endless obligations and expectations that have defined you for so long. It strips away the fear, the carefully constructed anxieties about the future and regrets about the past, leaving you grounded in the stark, undeniable reality of the present moment. Most of all, it strips away the illusions, the masks you wear, the identities you have adopted, the stories you tell yourself about who you are. Layer by layer, it peels back everything that is not essential, everything that is not truly you, until only your raw, unbreakable self remains. This core of your being, once buried beneath a mountain of pretense, now stands exposed and vulnerable, yet stronger and more resilient than you ever imagined. It is a self that is forged in fire and tempered by silence, a self that knows its own strength not because it was told, but because it has been tested. And when night finally falls, the transition is as sudden as it is absolute. The oppressive heat of the day vanishes, replaced by a deep, penetrating cold that wraps around you like a shroud. It is a cold that reminds you of your own mortality, of the fragile warmth of your own life force in this vast, indifferent expanse. But as you draw your arms around yourself, you look up, and your breath catches in your throat. Above, the stars blaze like 1,000 silent witnesses, free from the pollution of city lights. The celestial display is staggering in its brilliance and clarity. Constellations you have only ever seen in books now appear as intricate, glittering tapestries woven across the infinite blackness. The Milky Way is a river of diamond dust, a celestial highway stretching from one end of the universe to the other. They are not distant, cold points of light. They feel close, intimate, as if you could reach out and touch them. They are ancient observers, watching over this timeless land and your fleeting presence within it, in that endless silence, surrounded by the cold of the earth and the fire of the stars. You feel the pulse of something eternal. It is a slow, steady rhythm that seems to emanate from the very ground beneath you, a vibration that travels up through the soles of your feet and into the core of your being. It feels as if the desert itself is alive, breathing in the cool night air and exhaling the residual heat of the day. And in a moment of profound connection, you realize it is breathing through you, that your own inhales and exhales have synchronized with this ancient planetary rhythm. The boundary between yourself and the world dissolves, and you are no longer a visitor, but a part of the landscape itself. In this state of complete and utter stillness, the desert's voice becomes clearer than ever, whispering one truth over and over, a mantra carried on the starlight and the sand. To be lost here is to finally find yourself.